Now we're on to the entire point of today's show, which is performing the lucky draw of HUAWEI's new campaign, Prize Ek Sa Ek, Yo Dashain Ma Bhagyasali Anek. Like Wednesday, I'm going to perform lucky draws for about 20 smartphones, and after that, we have Miss Nepal 2012, Miss Shrishti Shrestha, come here and perform the lucky draw for the Himalayan Enfield bullet bike, the Royal Enfield bullet bike, I beg your pardon, and also the Vespa scooter. The first of prizes that we're going to give out today is HUAWEI's Y3 smartphone, and 10 of those we're going to give out tonight. So let me begin that. First, let's just shuffle this. And now I'll pick out a number. So the first lucky recipient of the HUAWEI Y3 smartphone, the IMEI code reads It reads 860-713-032-367937. That's the first IMEI code. Let me shuffle this one more time, two of which fell off. All right, 8611-0203-406-1681. That's the second IMEI code that we've picked from the draw today. Now moving on to the third one. 86953706, beg your pardon, 026503-616. Let me read that again. 86953702-650-3616. All right, taking another one out. This is going to be the fourth one, the fourth recipient for the HUAWEI Y3 smartphone. And this one reads 8623-10-311-5690. Now moving on to the fifth. Eight six two three one one 035142866. 5 gone, 5 more to go. Eight six two three 110-33-426-162. 4 more to go now. The lucky recipients of HUAWEI Y3 smartphone. 8611-020-33-722-457. Okay, here we go. 860-978-03988-7886. 2 more to go. 2 more recipients of the HUAWEI Y3 smartphone. Here's the penultimate one. 862311-03508-7590. And at last but not the least, of course, we have one more IMEI code to pick. Could be yours. Eight six 071-30-323-70543. There we go. The 10 lucky winners of the HUAWEI Y3 smartphone. Now we move on to P8 Lite, and 4 of those we're going to give out today. I think a couple of those fell, so I'm going to put them back on the... So this one's for P8 Lite. 860-970-3164-9037. The first recipient of the HUAWEI P8 Lite. The second recipient of the HUAWEI P8 Lite, 8611-020-3485-0125. Let's move on to the third lucky recipient. (860-713-031-862763). And finally, the last recipient of the HUAWEI P8 Lite. Here we go. 8627-140-323-10578. Congratulations to all the lucky recipients of HUAWEI P8 Lite. Now I'm going to move on to the Honor 4X smartphones, and 4 pieces of that we'll be giving out on today's show. The first lucky IMEI code, 8611-020-343-09098. The second lucky recipient of the Honor 4X smartphone by HUAWEI, 8692-540-29-352-153. Now the third lucky recipient of the Honor 4X smartphone, I'm going to pick one from this edge. 8623-110-351-70651. So I think there's one more lucky draw for Honor 4X smartphone that's left. The last recipient of this week for the Honor 4X smartphone is going to be the person who has the IMEI code 860-9060-34574126. Congratulations to all the Honor 4X winners. And now we come to slightly higher ends of smartphones. The smartphone I'm going to be giving out next, G7 Plus, is worth rupees 50,000. Let's see who's lucky enough to get that. I think this one fell outside of the box too. So I'm going to put that back in. Shuffle this a little bit. So the lucky recipient of the HUAWEI G7 Plus smartphone that's worth 50,000 rupees, their IMEI code reads 8621-930-352-54705. 705. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to the winner of the HUAWEI G7 Plus smartphone. And now we move on to P9, the latest flagship model of HUAWEI smartphones, which is worth rupees 60,000. They're trying to revolutionize the smartphone industry by partnering with the world's best lens manufacturing company, Leica. Let's see who receives this prize. One fell again, I think. So the recipient of P9, the latest flagship model worth rupees 60,000. Their IMEI code reads 8621-9303-52-36686. Congratulations to the winner of HUAWEI P9, their latest flagship model. And now I think we've got a lucky draw to perform of Giant Cycle. Right. So giant cycle we're giving out, including cycling kits, all worth rupees 60,000. Who is going to receive this one? So the final lucky draw coupon that I'll be picking, doesn't mean that the prizes are over, but I'll be picking, this is the last one, for giant cycles plus their gears worth rupees 60,000. It reads 8623110355353853. Well, 3 more giant cycles to give away. Let me also keep telling you how this works, all right? You go to a smartphone store, you buy a smartphone, and what's going to happen? You're going to get an IMEI code. So you'll have to message that IMEI code to us, and then we'll incorporate you in this lucky draw where we're giving out 80 smartphones in this entire draw campaign. And after that, also we're giving out 2 bullet bikes and 2 Vespa scooters. So another giant cycle recipient here, 8623110332033108. 2 done, 2 more to go. Of course, we're giving out 4 giant cycles every week as well. The bikes and the scooters we give out fortnightly. The third IMEI code of the lucky recipient reads 8623110334198929. All right. At last but not the least, I'm going to draw another coupon from amidst this over 4,000 coupons here in this box. For this week, this IMEI code is going to be the last recipient. Giant cycle and kits worth rupees 60,000. The IMEI code reads 86219330666606. Well, my hands hurt giving away so many prizes. So now I think we've got 2 prizes remaining, 2 draws that are still left, and those are for big prizes. One of them is a Royal Enfield bullet bike, and the other is a Vespa scooter. But my hands are tired, and I'm sure you'll excuse me for a little while, because to perform draws for these 2 mega prizes, we have Miss Nepal 2012, Miss Shrishti Shrestha, will grace us with a presence. Hi Shrishti, how are you?
I'm good.
So here's the box. There are a lot of IMEI codes in here. What you have to do is you've got to pick 2 lucky IMEI codes that will receive the Royal Enfield bullet bike and 1 Vespa scooter.
Okay.
Could shuffle that a little bit so that it seems fair.
Yeah.
There you go. So the first IMEI code that Ms. Shrishti Shrestha has picked, it reads 8624530300686165, and this is for the Vespa scooter. This is for the Vespa scooter. Whoever wins the Vespa scooter, I suppose they owe Shrishti at least 1 ride. Next, we're going to perform the lucky draw for the Royal Enfield bullet bike. Thank you, Shrishti. There we go. The IMEI code reads 8627140323000637. Congratulations to the lucky recipient of the Royal Enfield bullet bike. Thank you very much, Shrishti, for your time. Well, on that note, what I actually wanted to do is I wanted to call these people who received the prizes, but I think we're a little bit short of time, aren't we? Yes, we are. So I think that's going to be it from the studios of HUAWEI Namaste TV Show here today. Of course, we'll be performing a lucky draw where we give out 20 smartphones every week, and also we'll be giving out a bullet bike and a Vespa scooter every fortnight, in every 15 days. So if you've not bought a Huawei smartphone, perhaps this is the best time to go hit the stores and fetch yourself one. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, if you are just joining us, of course, we had the entire Sagarmatha Legends team here with us discussing cricket, discussing HUAWEI EPL. So perhaps you can catch that on the repeat broadcast of HUAWEI Namaste TV show at 10:30 p.m. sharp. It's time for me to bid adieu, but of course, we'll see you tomorrow. You guys take care and have a great night. Bye-bye.